everyone, my name is Xenia, and the hottest news in British wrestling this month is that One Pro Wrestling is back and it's better than ever, and I was invited to cover it, and I'm taking you guys with me. The plan was fly into London, take a train to Doncaster, which is a town I've never heard of before, but apparently the Doncaster Dome is an iconic venue for wrestling, which I found out this weekend. Go to the press conference that I was invited to, film some stuff with the organizers of the event, with the social media officer, and of course see the show. Many big names, Rob Van Dam, Robbie X, Alex Hammerstein, Ace Austin, very exciting. Also a huge venue, more of a stadium feel than regular wrestling venue, casino/club feel. So I'm gonna make my way to King's Cross Station, which is also a famous train station, and make my way to the beautiful city of Doncaster and take you guys along for the ride. I am currently next to King's Cross Station, railway station, and if you, just like me, or much like a lot of us, have seen Harry Potter, you might know what I'm gonna show you. But I'm going to show you some magic. Let's go. We're inside King's Cross Station and it's time to look for, I guess it's right, platform 9 3/4. And it honestly feels magical because I'm actually taking a train from here to somewhere, so I'm definitely going to pretend like I'm going to Hogwarts. I got my picture, very cute. I also got a ticket replica, and I also got a butterbeer, and we're gonna taste test probably on the train. I've tried the universal ones, spoiler, not a fan, so I'm gonna try this one. I'm walking back right now, and I just realized that there's such a huge line that when I came up, there was no line. There were like maybe 10 people, and it was moving really quickly, so honestly, I got very lucky. It was pretty cool actually. Like, from the internet, I'd imagined the trolley itself to be bigger and nicer looking, but you know, they give you a scarf of your house and then they wave it at the time of taking the picture, so it looks like you're running. So, you know, cool. Great experience. I am all dressed up and ready to go. I'm about to walk to the Doncaster Dome for the One Pro Wrestling press conference. And of course, I'm taking you guys with me. I'm gonna show you the whole thing, show you the process. There's gonna be a lot of famous wrestlers in the press conference. So let's go. Let's go check in. This is what the full outfit looks like with the equipment. It is sunny. How nice is that? I think I can see the dome. Almost there. Well, we are at the dome, but we need the rear side, wherever that might be. Let me go look.
Hi, I'm Sanchez.
From Wrestle Talk?
From Wrestle Talk. I'm Sanchez from Wrestle Talk.
It's just me.
It's just me.
This is the legendary John Scott. He's doing his job, hard at work. Do you want me to edit this out?
I'm sorry.
We set that up the whole time. I would say we'd like to make an announcement, and you would tell them something
First
funny.
announcement, Colt. I want to be, you want to be, we want to be the first people to shout right here in Doncaster Dome. One Peter! One Peter! One Peter!
We were going to say we're going to shout something completely different. And then the little child was here, but I was like, I don't care, and you were like, I care. I didn't think you cared that much.
Sorry, funny.
Unbelievable.
How you doing? Everyone good?
Yeah. Courage. Courage. I miss you.
Let's clean our hands. That's right.
We haven't been this far apart.
Push back.
Okay. I don't know how safe it is for me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Let's do a scrum.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Anyone want to start the questions? Go ahead, Danny.
Hi.
I know you guys. Hey, how are you?
Very good. I would like to know, start with you, Colt, how does it feel to be back in the UK with your team shag partner?
Far away.
Come on, we have to be next to each other.
Oh God, this shit.
Let me see. Now this is comfy. Now it's a party.
No! Get off!
You're very generous.
Answer the question.
Well, listen. Once upon a time, I was a traveling wrestler. Which I told them the real answer. I've been here in Doncaster working in a Dunkin' Donuts with Burridge for the past 16 years. So I've seen him every single day. I can't believe how much a donut costs these days. But that's not our choice or Dunkin' Donuts. As the great, and we are speaking for the great Dunkin' Donuts. Inflation, and we have to pay our workers, and we pay our workers a safe wage at Dunkin' Donuts.
Try our crispy maple caramel crunch.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Crispy caramel. This is going to make a lot of sense in about 3 hours.
Okay.
Try
sorry,
our
what was it called again?
Maple crumble rings.
Oh, they look delicious. They look delicious.
Eat some Dunkin' Donuts.
But we are excited to be tagging once again as a reunion. We have not been together for so long. This is my tag team partner for life.
Yep.
And I'm glad that we get to do it in the ring and not just the Dunkin' Donuts.
Just in bed. But yeah, so.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin'
Don't
Donuts.
tell them about the bed in the back of Dunkin' Donuts, or the others will get
It's where we live in a minute. So,
the prices. The prices of just we're forced to live in a Dunkin' Donuts now because heating bills have gone up.
we did share a studio flat in Granby for a while.
Yes.
But, you know,
I used to say live from my studio, flat in Granby.
so here we are.
I hope that answers that question.
So it's been a while since you've teamed together in a 1PW ring. Are there?
Hold on. Aren't they supposed to be like Frank from the media?
Well, yeah. Okay.
Okay, sorry,
Stay
I'm
with me. What's your intentions with my daughter?
I'm Sanchez, I'm from Wrestle Talk and loyal. and so my question is, it's been a while since you've teamed together in a 1PW ring. A lot has changed since then on the UK scene and everywhere else. Are there any teams you have your eye on for matches with after today?
West Ham.
Fulham.
Yeah, Wrexham, right? Get Disney Plus action in there. I don't know, what teams do you reckon, mate?
That was right.
Red ones.
That was right. And you had said it's been a while since, and the whole scene has changed. And I think that's always been the great thing about me and Burridge is that like we are this UK staple, but we're such an anomaly.
Yeah.
Because of me being from Chicago and you being from Puckerland, Essex.
Yeah.
This is like a 1PW specialty, and so finally with 1PW back.
And the best thing about everything, what you're going to notice today, everyone's just going to be fat and bald up. Whereas me and Colt, we still got around. And that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day.
Still working out.
We've got a full set of hair. So,
Hello, I'm Xenia from Xenia's Dead, and I want to bounce off of the first question a little bit and ask the controversial question of what's your opinion on a filled donut versus a glazed donut? And do you have an opinion on a croissant donut?
so if you,
Also, the way she said it, I thought she said filled up. Fit. I was like, what did you say?
I'm not a fan of the glazed type,
Oh
to be
no.
honest. I like the filling. I like a good filling. And in my donuts. But, you know, I think, but if you were to try a maple crunch pecan donut.
My favorite of that was watching all the adults laugh and the kids just like look into us. I I hate to tell you, a glazed donut is good, but when it's got something in the middle, like we would call it a Boston cream, I think is what we would call it. I don't know if you guys call it around there in Europe.
I've been to that club.
Thank you. I am thoroughly disappointed. Thank you.
Sorry.
So what would you go for?
I'm a glazed donut
Glazed
person all
donut.
day. Yeah.
Okay. Controversial.
Indeed.
Can everyone answer that, please?
One by one.
So when you give you answer questions, name, where you're from, intentions with our daughter, glazed donut, right?
Or just style of donut prefers.
Style of donut. Maybe not donut. Maybe savoury, pretzel.
I would say
Waffle.
Lion Bar. I'd say Lion Bar.
Yeah.
Just good Lion Bar. They make Lion Bar donut too?
Probably, I think they do.
They make cereal. Lion Bar cereal.
But you didn't think we were talking about Lion Bar donuts, did you? Wrestling anarchy.
Do you mind if I call on somebody? I know it's your job. You have one job, but I'm going to take it away.
Well then, SAS Assassin.
Hi guys, I'm Frank from the media.
Nice.
I'd just like to point out that nobody makes line bar donuts.
Oh, don't they?
Pretty sure you've made
Do you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong by the end of the day. I'm going to find you. I'm going to come out mid-match. Mid-match.
20,000 As it starts just a line, is this just a one-off? Or can we expect to see you guys together again, either here in the UK, WPW or elsewhere abroad?
Funny he says that from the media. In my head, I assume it's a one-off for me. But I am going to make as many angles tonight as humanly possible to try to get myself booked for another show. And I'm thinking we could run out in everybody's match.
Yep.
I'm
We
thinking.
can run out in our match, find it, prove that Lion Bar
Yes.
donut stuff. I then get a count out, ask for a rematch, don't get it.
Also, make such a crazy Lion Bar donut that Dunkin' Donuts is like, I can't believe you do that. They put us in commercials. They fly me over to Doncaster on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And then while I'm here, Gauntlet's like, well, we might as well use him. He's been
working.
falling over. Yeah, he's working over.
He lives in the
So.
back of the shop.
Yeah, right? Well, I still don't make a lot of money by that point with these donuts. So that's a possibility too. So I think that answers your
Would
question.
you like to see us? Would you guys like to see us do more?
Yeah. Come along this side, my friend. Come along this side.
Freshly independent. Here we go. So how you been? Okay, looking forward for tonight? Me too. I'm really looking forward to tonight. I can't wait. It's a class.
All right, let's. Anyone want to start with the questions?
Great, thank you.
That was easy.
I'm Paul from Real Wrestling. We're just wondering, you've been out of 1PW for quite a while, obviously you've been out of the British scene for quite a while. What was it like to come back at the revival of 1PW?
It's fucking great. Serious. I got great memories about this one. The fans, the matches, everything, the setup. It was sad in the end when everything went down, but I think we got a good chance with NXT not there anymore. We got talent on the market, and I really
Alright?
No comment. I'll let him say those things and I'll say it.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah?
I think we got a really good chance, and also with the legendary Doncaster Dome, I think the setup is great. We got a sold-out crowd tonight, and I'm really stoked and thankful for everybody who's still supporting us, because we're in fucking strange times, and it's great to see so many people tonight.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Xenia from Xenia Did That. Do you feel like with the recent renaissance of the British scene and the European scene on the whole, do you think the American scene with the behemoths like WWE, AEW is gonna remain the goal for wrestlers for long? Or do you think the British scene is gonna step it up, or the European scene on the whole?
For the longest time, like I've wanted to see something happen in the UK, and it's come close a couple of times, where you can just make a full-time living here and have a contract here. You don't have to worry about upping your family and moving to North America or moving to Japan. Like, if we could actually cement something like that in this country, I think that'd be incredible. I think so many times we've come so close to it, and then for one reason or another, it drifts off. I think if this time, it's particularly I'm looking at a team like we've got today, as I mentioned, all the people who are working behind the scenes of this. I think we have a real opportunity to make that happen. If it does, awesome. I genuinely think it will change the wrestling landscape forever. But WWE is always going to be WWE. The thing is with that brand is that they're like McDonald's. Their brand's bigger than the product, right? In most, like you guys are wrestling fans, or you know pro wrestling, so it's a different concept. If you go to every Joe walks down the street or some kid, you go, what's pro wrestling? They'll go, oh, WWE, because that's what they've cemented, and that's a huge obstacle to overcome because of the lineage of that company and then what they've done since then. So yeah, I think it's always going to be there, but whether it's always going to be the ambition for everybody, I mean, I can say personally that I'd love to do it, but at the same time, it's not something that I'm like, I've really got to go. I love doing this. I love doing what I'm doing at the moment. I get to be more creative. This is where I be myself, and I've seen friends go there and hate it. So, you know, it's one after the other. I think it's always going to come down to the individual at the end of the day, and what's best for them, their family, their life. Oh, you guys, you're younger than me, so.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, sort of growing up watching wrestling and stuff, it was WWE, and then when my family couldn't afford, like, you know, just Sky Sports, it was TNA and things. I think growing up as a wrestling fan, it was always, I want to be a WWE star, I want to be a superstar, I want to be a professional wrestler, and that would mean signing the big deal contracts and going into the States and stuff. But I think, obviously, as you grow up and you get older, things sort of change in your head, and I think just the idea of being able to travel the world and do what you do and love what you do, no matter where you are, is one of those things that's definitely, you know, what you strive to be. Like they say, if you never work a day in your life if you love what you do. So whether that takes me to like Japan, whether that takes me to Europe, whether that takes me to the States, like that's where I want to be.
I just don't know when to stop and start. So I like grew up in the wrestling business. So like I started when I was 7, and like starting so young, you like it's like everyone else. You only watch WWE, and then everyone's like, oh, I'm going to go to America, I'm going to do this. And then as you grow up, you realise there's more, and then you like. So when I first started, I only knew of one promotion, and that promotion, like you could only do this promotion, nothing else, or you go to America, and that was it. So in my head, for probably till about 14, it was just America, and then just WWE, and then once I started like branching out to like Rev Pro, Progress, all these other promotions, you realise how good like you kind of have it here, because like you'll meet some like, Americans go, oh, I want to work for Progress, and it's like, oh, but like I'm doing these big shows, so you want to come over here, and then hearing it more and more and more, you're like, British wrestling is just sick. Like it's genuinely, like I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm biased and all that, but it is just sick because we have so many different styles, so many different people bring so many different things. Everyone wants to come here, like no matter what, really. So
it's insane to think that it's on your doorstep as well, isn't it? Like I, as I say, grew up watching the WWE product and things like that, and until I was probably about 12 or 13, didn't even know that wrestling existed in the UK.
Yeah.
So to now be a part of the scene that's booming and growing and putting on shows in front of 1,500 people at the Doncaster Dome, it feels incredible. As I say, being like wrestling on the same show as people that I watched when I was 7, 8 years old, it's mad. Like, I'm literally living my childhood dream.
I'm Josh from Rio Wrestling. Obviously, you know, against RVD, massive legend of the industry. But does wrestling in your home country actually give you an advantage?
No. No, look, I'll be real with you. I don't ever feel like I am really at an advantage, you know. I'm 5'7", I'm 180 pounds in an industry where being 6'1" and 220 is considered small. You know, like I'm always the underdog. But it's not about the amount of, you know, the size that you are, it's about the amount of fire, the amount of heart that we bring. And tonight I'm stepping in there with, Rob Van Dam, who's arguably one of the greatest wrestlers ever, right? But, you know, he was a guy who I grew up idolizing. But this is just part of my journey, is just slaying one of my idols and taking my righteous spot as the king of professional wrestling. Watch my Ring of Honor run. See what I did to guys like Bully Ray, right? I'm going to do the same thing to Rob Van Dam, who just so happens to be from the same overrated independent company, whatever that was, that died over 20 years ago. And tonight I'm going to go in there, I'm going to smash Van Dam. So what exactly will that make me?
Setting up with a nice 1PW background, hoping to do some interviews. Let's see what we get. Who we get in my trap. That is this beautiful yellow chairs. Guys, look who's here with me! It's Jessie! Finally! And we're finally here both in real life in one room. We both exist. I know. And Jessie just hosted the press conference prior to the IPW show, the comeback at the Doncaster Dome. So the emotions are high. How are you feeling, Jessie?
Scared. My job isn't even finished yet, but I'm still. I woke up this morning, woke up early, all week. I was so nervous. I'm so nervous. I walked in this morning. I was like, I was sharing like the same dressing room as Nikki James today. I was like, oh wow, this is a big day. But yeah,
It was a big day. We're very excited
I know. I can't believe we finally met each other as well. It's been years.
And if you guys don't know, which would be mind-boggling, but if you don't, follow Jessie. I will post all the links in the description. And it's so cool to have you on the channel finally.
I know.
I'm here with John Scott, the media officer for the 1PW show, but he does not like titles. In case you wanted to know. So we're here at the legendary Doncaster Dome. It's the revival of 1PW. The first question will be generic. How are you feeling right now? What are your emotions prior to the show? We're like 2 hours until the show.
If I'm honest, I'm feeling quite tired, but in a good way. In a good way. It's busy. I don't think there's too many promotions in the UK where it's this big of an operation for a show, so maybe that's why. Obviously, we've just done a press conference that's not something that you see all the time at UK independent shows, but overall I'm feeling pretty positive, very positive.
You've also briefly mentioned it during the press conference, but can you give us more detail? Are we sold out? How many people are going to be in attendance? What's going on?
If we're not sold out, we're very close to selling out. There are a very small smidgen, you will not notice, but very small amount left as we're, 2 hours? Yeah, very small. We're looking at currently around the 1,000, just under 1,500.
And I would also like to point out that today, the 1st of October, is a railway strike.
Yes.
So all the people couldn't make it. So honestly, it probably would have been even more packed if it wasn't for that.
Yes, that's definitely a factor.
Yeah, that just happened. Also the London Marathon, in case you're wondering, this is just a historic day.
There's a few big football games as well today.
And with a big return on the larger scale, this is of course a great event, this is of course an important day, but do you have a further plan? How do you see this progressing in the future? Are we going to see more bigger shows? Are we going to see a more, I don't want to say Americanized, but kind of Americanized approach with press conferences and media and everything? Do you have a plan for the future?
It's funny you say about it being like an American style that it's given, but honestly it's actually looking into other sort of quite mainstream sports like boxing and MMA that have basically, I'd say in the last 10 years, have sort of stolen from wrestling some of the stuff with the press conference antics. No, I really think they have. If you watch a boxing press conference now, they're more big characters than ever. And that's why you see a lot of these influencers getting into combat fighting with these huge followings. So I think it's just part of the magic of what goes into a show, and it's certainly something that adds extra dimensions to it. Certainly if I was a kid going to one of these shows, it would kind of feel quite big. And I always think wrestlers should be treated as huge stars, not somebody you just see going to their car, picking up like the bag out of the back and they just wave at you, sort of going through the side of the building type of thing. And with regards to going forward, yes, we have lots of big plans in the works. We'll be back in February in Lincoln for a show. Again, tickets have already been selling really well for that. We've literally had the opportunity of doing that because these tickets were selling so well. So yes, lots to look forward to, I think, in the future.
Yeah, and we're all looking forward to it, and all the links to 1PW social media will be in the description down below, and thank you, I can't wait to see the show.
You're welcome.
1PW, a new Twist of Fate weekend has officially completed. So much fun, huge show, 1,500 people in attendance, which was, by the way, one of the biggest, if not the biggest crowd in the independent scene in the UK in the past 10 years. So great opportunity to witness it. And by the way, One Pro Wrestling is coming back in February with another show. Some huge names already announced, Taya Valkyrie, John Morrison, so check it out. I will put links in the video description down below. And in the meanwhile, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, tap the notification bell to never miss an upload. And until next time, goodbye!